Yeah, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Prison Break Raw. I'm your host, the one and only Big JD. Every time I get a large volume of DMs or PMs, or even emails in some cases, regarding the same topic, I would have to assume that something recently occurred in this social media, prison YouTube genre soap opera we got going on here. Or it's just a whole bunch of people just connected their minds together and have a burning desire to know what it is that I feel about this fight between Gunnerz Collective and Cholo Trucker. And I never really spoke about it on my lives. I've gone over my lives to see if I ever already addressed this. I haven't really addressed it, and, you know, for good reason. It's like none of my business, number one, but it is, you know, content eligible. It's, you know, content, opportunity for content. I mean, that's what we're all doing here. We're content creators. And in a lot of ways, we are, you know, talking about things that have to do with prison. And many of us are talking about things that have to do with post-incarceration. That's what some of you, I think, you fail to understand. The post-incarceration. Some people like to talk about that. Many of you like to sit there and giggle and get your little panties creamy when people are talking about making top ramen 60,000 different ways, talking about the booty bandit, smashing somebody's beans in the shower when he drops the soap and all of that stuff, and you get your kicks off of it. And when you don't talk about that kind of stuff, for some reason you want to just tune out, unsubscribe, and, you know, start watching the hip-hop genre. And for some reason, you have just decided to tune out from one drama and go to the next, because that's just a whole bunch of drama, too. Only that stuff's way more feminine, in my opinion. Because them dudes ain't real men, most of them, and a lot of them are just lames, rats, weenies, and sex offenders. That's what hip-hop is to me these days. Controlled by a bunch of seat sniffers, rapists, child molesters, and rats. But if you want to go over ahead and get entertained by what they do in these clubs and all that stuff, be my guest. But quite honestly, you really don't have to do that, because I got some really solid advice for you, if that's the case. You already know I'm all full of advice and I always want to help somebody out, right? So here's some advice to you, if that's why you want to tune out, because I don't want to talk about top ramens and busting cheeks in the shower. Well, here's an advice to you. Get you a case of soups, get you a night at the Motel 6, call a couple of male prostitutes up, and reenact the cheek-busting fantasy that you have in the shower over there. There you go. But what you get with right here in this prison YouTube genre, what I've caught up to speed on, had a chance to sit back and actually look at a lot of these other channels and learn about a lot of these other people, was the first time I've ever done that since I embarked upon this YouTube journey. Well, I've done that now, and I've gotten up to speed on a lot of this stuff, and I've heard a lot of things and seen a lot of stuff. Know a great deal about a lot of these YouTubers, a lot more than you may think, and a lot more than many of you know about. Just because I'm the face that's on here, you got to understand that people will come at me all the time with DMs from all over the place. We're talking people that literally could be sitting in the room at that very moment in time with somebody like Big Herc, and they could be texting me, sending me a message. You just don't know. So I've learned a lot about a lot of these new channels that are out there. I'll give a shout out to Cholo Trucker. I don't know if he's subscribed to my channel. His channel came across my feed one day. Somebody recommended me to him. I subscribed to his channel. Left him a comment. Whether he's reciprocated that, I don't know. I haven't talked to him outside of that. Never even talked even then. Gunnerz Collective, I don't think I've ever spoken 2 words to him, but I've seen him. I've watched the channel. I've been in a couple of his lives. And, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my whole take on this. But people want to know, what do I think about this? Gunnerz Collective versus Cholo Trucker in this fight. This huge exhibition tournament, gladiator contest between the North and the South. Wow. First off, people, pump the fucking brakes a little. All right? It's not even that kind of a show. Some of yous may be all up in the Kool-Aid and you don't really know what flavor it is, and you come to find out we're actually drinking Dr. Pepper. From what I understand and from what I've gathered from this, from talking to various different people, convicts' perspective, other people that are in the know about that, I don't even think it's really going to be like a boxing match where they're in there and blood's flying, the fucking mouthpiece gets shooting out of his face, and they're squirting water into there, you know what I mean? With the dramatic music in the background, the round, I don't even think it's going to be like that. Somebody actually told me it's going to be something like, you know, all the gear on and everything like that, couple of rounds, tip, 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 tap, 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 great, it's over. All love, all friendship, and all for entertainment and for fun, and to achieve one goal in the minds of the people that are involved. And that is to keep the unity alive in California. As you know, there's a lot of things moving in a different direction these days. Things that are happening that I never thought I would see in my lifetime ever. Many of veteranos and people that have been in the pen, old convicts, pintos that have been on the block, never would have seen the day that the homies are out there playing handball, having a spread, chilling and kicking it with norteños. But it's happening. And a lot of people can speculate and wonder and guess why it's happening. They could say this, they could say that, and the third, but they really don't know shit from Shinola about what they're fucking talking about. Because whatever kicked this off in the first place, the people that were in that room, or the people that was reading those huilas, are the only ones that really know the true deal. But there's a lot of things that happened in Pelican Bay to orchestrate this thing, and it wasn't only done by homies. It was also done by other people as well. It was a smart move. It makes a lot of sense. Everybody has eyes they could see. They could read the writing on the walls. You're all on the same ship. All the lifeboats are gone and it's fucking sinking. You have this big old pile of silly putty in the corner that you know you could plug the hole up with and prevent the leak. You're either going to keep fighting each other over who gets the last fucking life raft, or you're all going to work together and plug up the hole. You catch the drift. You got seat sniffers and rapists and weirdos and rats and stool pigeons. And when I say stool pigeon, that's somebody that will volunteer to take the stands against anybody. All this kind of stuff. People crying about the police. All this shit going on all over the place, especially in California, with this new S&Y phenomenon that is basically spread across the country. Everybody loves their rats. They're musical hip-hop rats, and the ones that just molested their 12-year-old daughter, and they think it's great. And they'll fucking cut for them, and they'll die for these people. Well, that's shocking, and that's horrifying to a lot of people that have been cut from a different cloth and people that have been raised a different way. So whatever the logistics are of this whole peace treaty and all that has created this North and South thing in the prison system. Now, mind you, it's not like that on the streets. But these two gentlemen feel that maybe they can ignite some kind of spark on the streets by having this fight. And if I was to say anything regarding this event, the only thing that I could tell these two men is keep your hands up at all, protect yourself at all times, and don't hit below the belt. That's it. Give them a thumbs up, and I hope that whatever the end result is to this fight, that it achieves the purpose that they were looking to create. I hope they do find some unity, and I hope they do come to understand each other a little better. You know, like Chicanos and Mexicanos, raza in general, from north to south, they're not too different in too many ways. When you're in the prison system back in the days, like you can tell the mentality, their estilo, their style is a little bit different in a lot of ways. Some of them tend to have like more of a African-American ting to the way they talk. But then again, right now in Cali, a lot of the homies talk like that. Listen to some of these rappers that I've talked to you about, like Swifty Blue. I can close my eyes and I don't know if he's black or Mexican nowadays. A lot of cats are like that. Coming up into the system with cornrows on and all that. I've seen it in the feds. I saw a dude come in with cornrows and the homies rushed him into the back and shaved his head. You know? I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. I'm just saying that this is what it is. It's becoming like a cultural melting and mending. When everybody lives so close together in proximity, it's just going to happen. But anyways, regarding this whole thing, this fight, it's being done for a positive reason. It's not a battle between North and South. From what I understand, Gunnerz Collective is all out of that mix. And people can tell me negative stuff about him. They can tell me positive stuff about him. Whether he walked out of that lifestyle or however he got out, the one thing that I do know, and from what I've researched about him, is that he wasn't up on one of them weirdo yards, woofing out 2-5 or Northern Ride and talking shit to people through the bars and doing all that funny stuff. Is from what I understand, he just got out. He got out. He's on a different direction. He's a positive dude now, and that's how he should only be judged, just like what he's doing now. His actions and his motives, what are they about? And that's how I've been from the gate with anybody. I've told people that. Same thing with Cholo Trucker. I don't know much about him. I know he's from the South. I know he's a homie. He's been in prison and all that. Changed his life. Became a truck driver, and he's doing positive shit. As far as these guys making money over this fight, I don't really know how that's going to be possible unless, of course, they get licensed through the Boxing Commission, of which I found out in Oklahoma. For what I was trying to do, if I would have done that, put it on fucking recorded it and had a live feed to it and charged an admission fee, I would have been looking at some serious shit. Could have been arrested and everything. All kinds of fines, $250,000 fine, all that stuff. I don't know if they've looked into that matter or if they've researched that. But everybody thinks because Street Beefs does this stuff, that everywhere that they're at in this country, they could just put on a fight, put a camera on, and yay, they could charge people for the fights. Well, guess what? Ask those guys that were doing bum fights and felony fights about that, and they will tell you. You can't do that. You can't make any money off of a fight like that without going through the Boxing Commission, without having an ambulance there, a physician on site, all of this stuff. Costs a lot of money. And if you do that under the table like that, you could possibly be exposing yourself to criminal charges. Just keeping it real. But I do my research. Most people don't. They think Street Beefs and they think they could do it wherever they are. Well, from what I understand, Virginia is the only state where you could do that. So there's that. But again, I think that there's people out there that are looking at this all wrong. You got people that are somehow thinking that this is like a North and a South thing, number one, and you got other people thinking that it's all bad, you know, if we're supposed to be active and all that stuff like that. And I think I've explained it before that I remained and stayed active, GP, mainline, from the beginning of my prison term in Cali to the end of my prison term in the feds. That doesn't mean I'm actively a participant in gang and criminal activity now. That just means that I rode the straight and narrow all the way through and I came out unscathed. That's all that means. So just like myself in life, I've explained it to you before, in the minds of Gunnerz Collective and Cholo Trucker, we're private citizens now. We're content creators. We're like people in our community, and we're trying to do positive shit to help our communities. The way I look at a lot of this stuff, it goes like this. If you say that you're active, if you say that you're with the business and you're all on that, you are not going to be on YouTube. If you're out there, you're criminally active. You're involved in things that are going on. You're doing stuff out there. You're not going to be on YouTube or anywhere else because you're just going to stick out like a sore thumb and you're just going to make yourself a huge target. Your enemies, law enforcement, everything like that is going to be fucking studying you and following your phone around every time you tag your location. That's why I laugh when a lot of these rappers and stuff like that, and they get involved in crime. They wonder why they got caught. Well, you're a public figure, pal. Figure it out. Doesn't take a fucking genius to figure out you're out there. You're fucking visibly out there. So when they find SPM with his penis in the mouth of a 13-year-old girl, and he wonders how he got caught and why he got caught, you're a fucking public figure, pal. You're a celebrity. You think about these things before you do them. And don't play this pity party shit, and don't try to tell me you didn't know and all this other and you got set up. Bullshit. You're a diaper sniper. Same thing as Tekashi Snitch 9. Same shit, all of them. I have no sympathy for these people when they get caught doing what they do because they've done it to themselves. You make yourself a public figure and you're committing crimes, you're running dirty, you're riding dirty, you're up to no good, you're going to get caught. It's just a matter of time. Now that you have this social media thing tagged to you and your location tagged everywhere you go, yeah. If I'm wanting to fucking murk you and put a couple of hot ones in your ass, I already know where you're at. I just got to wait for you to step out of there. I'm in the fucking parking lot standing next to your car. Like the valet that just pulled up for you. But we become private citizens now. We did our part when we were in there. We were involved in whatever we were involved in. We did whatever we had to do. We kept our nose clean. We didn't go run into the program office talking about, please help me, CO. I'm in fear for my safety. They're going to kill me, rape me, rob me, do all that stuff to me. And then show up on another yard holding my fucking, with my balls in my hand, talking about 2-5 motherfuckers, fuck all you punks. I didn't do none of that stuff. But when I got out, I didn't have to tell anybody that I'm dropping out or doing anything like that. I just went my way. In the state of Oklahoma now, where I was forced to locate because I had nowhere to go, state of California didn't even want me to release there to 3 different locations. All that shit. But I turned it all around. I turned a negative into a positive, and I created one of the greatest comebacks, not only in my life, but in the lives and the minds of many other people. I've inspired a lot of other people to move forward, to understand any obstacles, all obstacles. None of them are unpassable. You just have to figure out a way through them. So with that right there, like, I will give a thumbs up or a nod to anybody doing something positive. And at the same time, my bullshit meter, in all my training and all my years, in all my schooling and everybody I've been mentored by, has guided me. I know the bullshit artists, the scam artists, the con artists, and all of them that are floating around in this YouTube world. The liars, the manipulators, whatnot. I see them all for what they really are, and I'm going to call it out every single time. In a case like this, I've gone to this man Gunnerz Collective's channel. I've seen nothing deceptive in his eyes. Same thing with Cholo Trucker. There's a couple of guys just trying to make sense of this world that they're in and try to do something positive, because in the same thing in my mind, we've done nothing positive ever. But now we got an opportunity to do that. So if anybody's knocking these gentlemen, I don't know who is or who's not, don't. Let them do their thing. Let them, rewrite their wrongs. Let them reset their karma and pay it forward and do what they do. Maybe it might kick off something that somebody else might want to do. Sometimes there's a positive reaction to a positive situation. So same thing with a negative reaction to a negative situation. You already know what it is. And you heard it right here. Prison Break Raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, not sugarcoated, not politically correct, all up in your face, slapping you with that dick of reality. And I'm out.